Hi, I'm Wade from Thoroughbred Diesel, and today we're going to be putting on a set of BD Diesel sway bar end links on a 2005 Dodge Diesel. BD Diesel does an awesome set of sway bar end links for you Dodge owners. Now, this part number that we're going to be putting on today, this is for a 2005 Dodge. In this series, it goes from 2000 to 2009 year models. They also have a set of sway bar end links all the way up to you 2021 guys. Now, sway bar end links, we all know as far as front suspension goes, it's one of the things that they're just not made out of much. Materials that you get on these from parts houses, even what you get on your truck OE, just really not good material. Sometimes you look underneath the truck and the sway bar end links are gone completely, broken in half, hanging there. We've got that on this truck today, so it's a really, really good example of that. This is not gonna rot. The BD Diesel sway bar end links are not going to rot. They're not going to fall off on you. This is something that's going to be on your truck for the life of the truck. And the really, really nice thing about that is they offer replacement parts for these. So your urethane bushings that are in these, they're actually replaceable. So they're a wear item, and you're just going to get a lot of service out of this. This is a really, really nice setup. Now, this is a fully assembled sway bar link setup that I did for this video. We're going to link you in this video to our unboxing and show you that, but here's a set of them that's assembled, ready to go on the truck. They articulate, you know, in obviously two different places here, so that's going to give you a really, really good range of motion on your truck, and it's going to keep you from having a bunch of wear and tear on these sway bar end links that really leads to premature failure. So what we're going to do, this isn't a super complicated thing, but we really wanted to show you this truck with a couple sway bar end links on it that are just rusted, rotted. You know, it's going to take a couple tricks to get them out, so we're going to share that with you guys on this video here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to assemble our BD Diesel sway bar end links, and the first thing we have to do is we actually have to insert our urethane. Whoa, dropped it. Can't catch that one because I can't jump off frame of the camera, so we're just going to let it go. Hopefully it doesn't go down the drain. Urethane bushings, we're going to be pressing these into the standard from BD Diesel. You can use a press for this if you've got one. I'm going to use I'm going to use a vise because I know that's what most of you guys have got in your shops. So we're going to show you doing it with a vise. Really, the first thing that you have to do when you are getting ready for your BD Diesel sway bar end links is pressing the urethane bushing into these standards. And most of you don't have a press at home, so vise works just as good. What you do with this, inside of the package, they send you a kit of lubrication for the bushings. So we're just going to go ahead and put a little bit of that on here. Makes the installation a lot easier. If you don't have a vise, don't go to hitting on it with a hammer and crap. Just go to your neighbor's house, borrow his vise, drink some of his beer if he's got any, all the things. It's a win-win it's a win-win for you. So, all right. And I also like to use a 3/4 inch drive socket, 1 7/16 inch. What this does is this gives us a hollow recess that when we push the bushing through, it can go into, and it fits perfectly on that standard from BD Diesel. So here we go. Kind of a bit of a lob. When you put the grease on there, the bushing is going to stick. I'd say it's going to stick and then it's going to fall down. So let's go ahead and make sure it's straight. And then move my hand so I have to catch the shot there. This is really why, this stupid stuff like this is really why a press works better for this. But like I said again, press isn't something that most of you are going to have in your home shops, so I'm just keeping pressure on it. It wants to walk up on it. So you can switch over, and since we're not at the point yet that we really need the recess, we can just go ahead and run it over and then turn our recess over. And when you run the bushing in, what you want to do is you want to run it in until You have about the same amount on both sides of the bushing, just like that. So now you flip it over, put your bushing in the other side, and then you're ready to go. Now let's go ahead and do our assembly. Now that we have our urethane bushings punched into the BD standards here, we're gonna go ahead and show you assembly. And I'm gonna leave this fully assembled one on our right hand side here so you can see what we've got, and if you want to pause it and take a look at it or something. And it's easy. A little bit of the lube that you've got from your urethane, I like to use a little bit on that, just on the leading edge of the sleeve. And we'll go ahead and just coat that and get it started. And then hand pressure will push it down. You need it flush with the urethane bushing. So there are two different size bolts in these kits. There is a longer bolt and a shorter bolt. It's only 5 mil difference, so you got to really watch what you're doing here. So we're going to use the longer bolt on the bottom. And longer bolts gets one of the large washers, then another large washer, and then a small washer. Now the reason for this is this small washer on the bottom of this sway bar end link, this is going to go, the axle mount is actually going to go right here. Okay, so the axle mount's actually going to go right there. So then we'll go ahead and put our nut on the bottom, and that's your assembly for the bottom. Then we've got our top that attaches to the actual sway bar itself. We'll go ahead and insert that, and then you've got your shorter bolt, and we're going to use the smaller of the two washers. And then the locking nut, and then our portion of it that attaches to the sway bar. We're going to use these concave washers. This is going to be the part of the stack. So you got a concave up, and then these urethane bushings for these have got a raised end on them. That raised end, the two of those engage each other or face each other, and then they will engage the sway bar itself. So the raised end of the urethane bushing goes up, and then the raised end of the urethane bushing goes down, and then you have the concave washer, and then the smaller nut in the kit, and there you are. There's your fully assembled sway bar end link from BD. Now let's go ahead and remove our OE sway bar links. Okay folks, so when you're working on your sway bar links on your vehicle, the first thing you're going to want to do is remove both tires. Obviously it's going to give you a lot more access to be able to get the sway bar links. Just going to make the job a whole lot easier. You are going to have to drill for the 2000 2005 Dodges. You will have to drill on the axle mount. So easiest way to do that is going to be to turn the wheel all the way to the right or left, depending on what side you're on, and then that'll give you access to where you need to be. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to remove the OE sway bar link. Go ahead and remove the stock OE sway bar end link. You can see this thing is bent. It's also very rusted. The bushings on it are eaten up. So you're really just not getting any functionality out of this. On the other side, it's actually broken in half and hanging. So let's go ahead and remove it. I definitely suggest before doing this job, soaking these with penetrating oil overnight. That'll really help these come off a whole lot easier. So a little bit of oil and a little bit of penetrating oil. There you go. If you run into a portion of it where it'll do that, just take it, run it back in, and then run it out. If the standard from the OE starts turning on you, it's kind of like a shock tower. It's got a hex head on the end of it, so you can actually hold it with a small wrench and keep it from turning on you. It's probably what we're going to be up against on the other side. Alrighty. And just take your hammer and go ahead and knock that side out. Here's our bottom. And let's do our top. Same size on that, 5/8 is what I use. You don't want to take it all the way out of the bottom, because what that's going to get you is you won't be able to turn your top. It'll just spin on you. The easiest way to do this, if you got it, just get you a whiz wheel and cut it so you don't have to fool with it. But I'm already here, and I didn't bring a whiz wheel with me, so I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way. I'm sure that was as painful for you all to watch as it was for me to do it, because I can assure you, if we weren't videoing, that would have had a whiz wheel on it. All right, so go ahead and just remove our OE sway bar link. There's nothing left of it. So on your 2000 to 2005 trucks, the lower bolt of the BD sway bar links is larger than the OE sway bar link that came out of this. So BD's instructions will tell you to take this hole, to go ahead and drill this axle mount out to 14 millimeters. A metric drill bit, something a lot of you probably are not going to have. Also makes mention in BD's instructions that a 9/16 drill bit is a required tool, so that this can go either way. It'll be a few tenths off, but so we're going to use the 9/16 on this. That's probably what you're going to have at your shop as well. So for your 2000 2005 model trucks, you are going to have to drill out the OE location for the sway bar link. So we're going to go ahead and drill that out now. Just use a good low speed drill and take it easy on it. Make sure you get it straight. All right, once you get your hole drilled, you want to just go ahead and test fit it, make sure you got it. We're good to go there. So I want to go ahead and deburr that, and then what I like to do too is I like to take a wire wheel or whatever, wire brush, and I like to clean up the seat for the urethane bushings on the actual sway bar itself. So I just hit that real quick where I drilled, and then I just take the wire brush and clean out the seat of the sway bar. And the reason for that is because that's going to have some rust and some pretty good sized chunks of crap that are just going to go into eating away at your urethane. So I'm just going to clean those up real quick. We'll go ahead and install our BD sway bar links. Now I like to go ahead and attach them to the sway bar itself. So remember when I was talking to you about how you stack up your urethanes here, you want to just go ahead and take the nut and concave washer off the top, and then one of the urethanes, just like so. And then go ahead and just lift your sway bar up if you've got it unattached from the other side. If not, go over and unattach it from the other side so the sway bar's got good travel, like so. Pick it up and just put it back together. So through here, the urethane with the raised center on it goes back down towards the sway bar itself. Then you've got your concave washer and the small nut for the top. And you can tell in travel, that's going to get you pretty close. So let's go ahead and assemble our bottom. We want to take our two large washers that we have, and we want to go ahead and get our small washer as well. So we're going to have our bolt is going to go through the axle, and then our small washer. So we're going to go ahead and start it through the axle mount there, and then take one of our large washers. That gives you a buffer between the axle and the BD sway bar link, and then go ahead and run your bolt through. And then on the back side, you've got your big flat washer, and then on the very back is the large nut. And there you have it. That is the BD sway bar link assembled. Now these two bolts, and remember you want to use the long bolt on the bottom that you attach to the axle. On this, these are 110 foot-pounds of torque, then 110 foot-pounds on the next bolt, and then the top bolt, I believe, was 10 to 15 foot-pounds where it connects back to the sway bar. But before you do that, before you tighten anything up, you want to go ahead and go to your opposite side and go ahead and install. So the installation on the other side is exactly the same. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buzz over to the other side. I'm going to get it installed, and then we're going to get everything back together, and then we'll show you the truck with the BD sway bar links on it and ready to go. And we wanted to show you Adam's other sway bar, OE sway bar link here was completely broke away. And you know, if they're broken like this and you go to turn them, like we talked about, the hex end of the OE sway bar links, you can put a wrench on it and then have to wrench the other side. If not, cut the damn thing. I mean, honestly, we'll see if this one comes out. If not, we're going to cut it. Oh, it's going to come. We got luck here. Here she be. Let's see if she'll drive out. That's it. All right, so we'll punch that out. We'll install a BD sway bar link on this side and then show you everything put together. So we promised you that we would pan back in and show you the BD sway bar end links in their finished form. I want to tell you that on the top link of this, I had told you 10 to 15 foot-pounds, 10 to 12 foot-pounds on the torque for your top nut, then 110 foot-pounds on both of them. Super easy install, and this is a 3/4 ton truck. You know, these are made for 3/4 ton trucks. This is what you want on your vehicle. You want something that is this well made, that has replaceable components in it, and it's a lifetime part, because that's pretty much why you probably bought a diesel truck. You want a lifetime vehicle, and that's, you know, what diesels are. So really, really nice, and a big shout out to BD for sending us a set of those. We have another set that we're actually going to put on a second gen truck, so we'll be coming to you with that video here in a couple weeks. So, you know, here's your OE sway bar end link, just cheap crap, wears out, urethane on it, not good. Craftsmanship, not good. Definitely one of the upgrades that you want to make to your truck that's not crazy expensive, and it's just going to really, really help the overall drivability of your truck. Add another serviceable component to your truck. It's just a really, really nice place. Really, really nice piece, excuse me. So again, shout out to BD for sending us a set of these for this installation, and we appreciate you watching this video. If you have any questions about our installation, just give us a call, or any questions about a BD product, we'd be glad to help you. We'll link you inside of this video somewhere right around in here where you can purchase the BD sway bar end links for your truck. Thanks for watching.